Hi, this is Bertha, and I'm going to talk to you about the differences between a temp table and table variable in SQL Server. In SQL Server, a temp table and a table variables, they are both kind of similar in that they provide a mechanism for temporary storage of result sets for further processing, and they are also both logged in transaction logs. There are fluid differences between the two. I'm going to start with the scope. There are two types of temp tables. There's a local temp table and the global temp table. A local temp table is only accessible in the session in which it is created, and it can be dropped explicitly using the drop statement, or it automatically ends once the session is over. And the global statement is not only accessible to the session in which it is created, but it is also available to other sessions, and it can be dropped explicitly or once the session in which it is created ends or other sessions are no longer using it. And the scope of a table variables is in the store procedure, or in the store procedure, or the variable in which it is created, which means it is stored in a table variable is stored in a memory, and the lifespan of a variable ends once a statement is executed, which means you cannot drop it explicitly because it ends once a statement is executed. And another difference is on the syntax. On the table variable, you have to declare a variable. And it follows, you use the declare statement followed by an sign. So it will be declare, sign, and the table name and the data type. And on the temp table, you use the create statement. So you create the table followed by a hashtag. For a local temp table, it's a single hashtag, and for a global temp table, it's a double hashtag. And the other difference is on modifying the structure. On a temp table, you can use the DDL queries, and you cannot use the DDL queries, data definition language query. You cannot use them on the table variable. So you can use alter, you can use drop on a temp table, but you cannot use those DDL functions on a table variable. You can, however, use DML on both. And the other difference is on the storage. A table variable is stored in the memory, while the temp table is stored in the temporary database of SQL Server. And another difference is on the indexes. You can both you can have a clustered index on a table variable and on the temp table, but you cannot have a non-clustered index on a table variable. And on constraints, you can add a primary key, you can add a foreign key on the temp table, but you cannot add on the table variable once it is created. The other difference is on the user-defined function. Temp tables are not allowed in user-defined functions, but you can use them in a table variables. So yeah, the unofficial rule of thumb is you can use a table variable when you want to use user-defined functions. And if we have to manipulate large sums of data, then a temp table is good for you. So an example where I've used a temp table is when I wanted to access a table where I did not have full authorization or full access. I did not have full DDL or DML access to the table. So I just had to pull the data using a temporary table That way I was able to manipulate the data. That's all I have for you. Thank you for watching the video.